Record.
Gotta pump it up. Gotta pump it up.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Clayton with the Marcus classic there. Some would say Goldbridge classic actually. But anyways, we got a lot to talk about and straight into it, Clay. How are you
Mhm.
first of all on this day? This beautiful day where nothing is happening with regards to Man United and Sancho, who knows what's happening with that. And as a United fan, the window is very boring, but how are you?
I'm doing well, boy. How are you doing?
I'm good as well. So, speaking of transfers, Clay, we're going to go into this. The whole show today is basically going to be there's going to be certain points, but we'll start off with our review of our transfer window so far. Some would
Hmm.
say it's a bit early, and United do take a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just review the transfer window as it stands, right? We know United are known for taking their time, sucking all the life out of United fans. All the fun
Yeah.
out of deals. Some we only linked to one deal, and what I will say is obviously the link is Jadon Sancho. He's
Yeah.
the priority. But even if we did get just Jadon Sancho, and that even if we still do get him at this point, that's if we get him still, because of we've seen this
Exactly.
news coming out. But Jadon Sancho is still it's not enough for this window. You're looking at
Mhm.
Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool. Some would argue the quality of their signings, but
Mm.
they're getting squad depth. They're getting a
Yeah.
good bench. They
Yeah.
signed the left back, so replacement for Robertson. They are linked with
Yeah.
Thiago. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if they linked with someone else, but Arsenal today got Willian. They
Hmm.
linked with a few players as well. Thomas Partey they linked with. They're looking to sign Chelsea. Chelsea is like our main rival at the moment because
Yeah.
they're closest to us, and they got Werner. They're gonna. I could probably tell you now they're gonna get Havertz. They got Ziyech. So everyone around us are buying players, but
Yeah.
United are not. And what do you have to say about our window so far?
I actually think our window hasn't been bad so far. We actually managed to offload some dead weight, so I think that's a
Yeah, I like the
positive.
Sanchez. The Sanchez
Yeah,
one.
it's a big positive, and I do think that is good from the club point of view because 500K a week, that's a lot of money we just got back into the
That's
club
true.
that we'd be spending on him. So it's really good to get rid of him. And even though we haven't bought anyone yet, it's always how United works. It's just we wait and we wait and we wait. We listen to the rumors, we hear they get called off. Then some happen, some don't. It's a painful journey.
Do you think United are going to get over the line with Jadon Sancho? What do you have to say to our fans watching, or any United fans at the moment, about what's going on?
Oh, with this the Sancho deal is just a mess. It looks like we don't want to pay 120, and it looks like they're not going to let him go for less than 120. It looks like Sancho wants to go though, so that is the positive. From all the reports, he could force a transfer if he wanted. So I don't know if we're gonna actually be able to pay less unless Sancho steps in himself.
Hmm. To put it simply, like I was telling my dad, because he
Yeah.
asks me every day, I hate talking about Jadon Sancho, but he asks me every day, what's the story? And I'm like, listen, this is the story. If United
Mm.
pay 120 million, United will get Jadon Sancho. If United don't pay that, United won't get Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho does want to come, personal terms are agreed,
Yeah.
but the initial fee to actually give to Dortmund, the club fee, is not agreed, and that's the
Yeah.
stepping stone. There are rumors, people messed it up, but it is what it is. So where I stand on Jadon Sancho is, I don't know. I think everyone where they would be, if you're confident, we're still going to get him. Probably still confident, but at the moment, I'm not confident. I'm not
Mm.
confident. I'll be lying if I told you I was, because I do get stressed
Yeah.
about certain things like that. But like at the end of the day, I can't do anything about it. United fans really can't do anything about it. It's up for the club whether or not they're serious enough to go and get that deal over the line. And what I will say, it'll lead me into our next point. Uh,
Mhm.
you and I will discuss our several targets of who we would sign for Manchester
Yeah.
United. Obviously, United, like we know, even if we get Jadon Sancho over the
Mhm.
line, it's not enough to compete for the title. It's a good step.
Yeah.
It's a statement signing that said, listen, United are serious about the future,
Yeah.
and we are serious about a football club, and that's the one of the starts. Just like Bruno, but what I will say, Bruno, we didn't get him in the summer when we were supposed to get him. We didn't get him
Exactly.
then. We got lucky with the second shot, with injuries, and then we bought him. That was all luck, and that has been like it was great, and it was very nice for us United fans. But again,
Yeah.
it's not good enough, and I'm not, I wouldn't bet my house Sancho coming to United because Woodward and this
Yeah.
club do have a way of messing up deals. But yeah, let's talk about our several targets, right? I'll
Yeah.
start off. obviously people don't want to talk about it, but if we didn't have to get Jadon Sancho on the right wing,
Yeah.
I don't know who. I mean, I'm looking at who I wrote down. I have Adama Traore written down, but
Yeah.
realistically, I don't think we'd be in for him. And
Mm-hmm.
another right again. I think if we don't get Sancho, we're not going to get a right winger. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't see us getting a right winger, but Adama Traore would be my replacement for Sancho.
Yeah. Well, I think Adama is just a questionable one at times. He's also got very injury prone. His shoulders just completely messed up. He plays through the pain basically every game. That's why he's mostly just an impact player now instead of a full-time starter. And even when he starts, he normally gets subbed off. It feels rare that he's actually getting a full 90 minutes. And he has a lot of moments of brilliance for sure. But I don't know if he's much of an upgrade over Dan James. So I don't know if we should be in for him as a replacement for Sancho.
And that's all the news, like, us being linked with Coman and Ousmane Dembele. I mean, I just don't see it. Like, I stand with a lot of United fans. If we don't get Sancho, there is no one else to get. The bar is so far below Jadon Sancho for right winger, and the club is not serious then. If we do not get someone like Jadon Sancho, and like I will emphasize enough again, it's not enough. It's still not enough. It'll be great to get over the line, but it's not enough. But will we take Jadon Sancho over nothing? Of course we will. And then just speaking on the other places that definitely need, more recruitment. Centre back, midfield. So obviously the number one guy on my list, I've written down. Well, obviously for me, is Jack Grealish. I have emphasized it on this show, on my Twitter, on all my social media. If anyone knows me, how I rave on about Jack Grealish. And what I will say is I'll tie Jack Grealish in with Van de Beek. Because, we are French and it would be wrong not to speak about other players who are linked, I think I'm one of the fans who are on the actual minority side. I think majority of our fans, if you ask them, would they rather choose Jack Grealish or Donny van de Beek? I think most of them will choose Donny van de Beek. They'll probably say he has the potential to be a better player. He's cheaper, so it suits United. But there's something about Jack Grealish. He's a quality player. Don't get me wrong. And if everyone doesn't think Jack Grealish is a quality player, he's a bloody quality player. You look at Villa and you think he's not. I mean, that's just but idiotic and immature on my side. I think his numbers are literally just second behind Kevin De Bruyne, who is probably the Premier League Player of the Year. So with Jack Grealish and versus Donny van de Beek, listen, I'll take either at the moment. I'll take either. Obviously, Jack Grealish is my number one signing, and that's why I said with Sancho thing. I understand the hype and all the gassing up about him, but for me, my dream signing this window would be if United got Jack Grealish. If United get Jack Grealish, I'll be there. I'll buy a Jack Grealish shirt. I'll be honest with you. Because he is one of my favorite players at the moment. And what I will say is, with going back to Van de Beek, potential is great. He's cheaper. And where would you stand? We know that obviously Ollie and myself, I'm like Ollie. I'm in Ollie shoes. There's just something about Jack Grealish that I want at United. And for me, he just suits the bill better. Bar that price. 80 mil is not. I understand it's too much. But what are your thoughts on Jack Grealish and Donny van de Beek?
So with Jack Grealish, we get a lot more versatility up front compared to Donny van de Beek, which some would argue is better for what we need. Because he could probably play around any of the wings, primarily the left, and he plays to the center. So for squad rotation, he would be perfect. But 80 million for a squad rotation player is not all right. That's really something we can't do. But Jack Grealish does have a lot of amazing qualities. He has fantastic stats from the season. He beat Bruno in almost every stat this season. I think Bruno had one more assist than him or something, even though the expected assist was far higher. Yeah, for the same amount of minutes. I'm pretty sure it's based for the end of the since restart or something. I remember seeing the stats yesterday. Jack Grealish is a phenomenal player, and he brings a lot of leadership to the team as well, which we still do need some more of, and a lot of creativity. He draws a lot of fouls. We're really good on set pieces. We've seen that firsthand this season with Penandes. Set pieces are where we thrive in a lot of the sense, And I think someone like him would help a lot, even if it is just as a rotation player, but the price tag is something very hard to get by. So I think the ideal summer for us, if we don't get Sancho, is we go in for Van de Beek and we get another 2 signings or something. Because Van de Beek was 40 million, I believe, estimated.
40 million. He came out
Plus it,
recently
yeah.
saying, listen,
Yeah.
in the world without COVID, or probably went to Real Madrid. He didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
He did say that, like, listen, I don't know. I'm uncertain about. I think this is what he said. He said, I'm uncertain about my future, but I'm not going to complain if I'm at Ajax. You know. So he's respected both parts. I'm sure Ajax wants to sell him because you know that's what Ajax do. And yeah, you're right. 40 million, you get Van de Beek. So
Yeah, that's
it's
a fair price.
just if you're linked to Real Madrid, it's hard to believe Real Madrid don't have 40 million still to go buy Van de Beek. So
Because they did
but
just win the La Liga as well, I thought, so
yeah, exactly. So
they should have
I'm
the money.
sure they should. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
a Real Madrid fan. You know, I'm a Ronaldo fan. That's the only reason. But anyways, they should have the money to get Van de Beek. And what I will say about Van de Beek is that he's a good target for us. Obviously, United fans know a lot about football and stuff. You know, football fans are football fans. We obviously know about Van de Beek. It's just I don't see United doing it. We're not in for him by reports. We're not in for him. 40 million will get it for you. I think it's just that European scouting again that United fails with. You know, Jack Grealish is again English. Ollie likes English. Or United like English players. They're more safe. He's proven in the Premier League. And like I said, I think there's just something about Ollie and Manchester United that prefer Jack Grealish over Van de Beek. And I'm with them. I'll put my hand up. I'm with Grealish, one of my favorite players. So yeah, for me it'll be great getting Jack Grealish. But I wouldn't mind Van de Beek. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind Van de Beek. But if we don't get Jack Grealish because he's 80 million, if we don't, we will probably won't get Van de Beek because we're not linked with him yet. And you know, anything can change still. But I doubt it with the way United work. You know. Now, who would be another replacement midfielder in your mind? Like, who would be your third target? Doesn't have to be that realistic, obviously, because United, unless everyone knows, the world knows about it, they won't do it. But who would be your target?
Someone that I definitely think we need is someone to replace Matic in the future, or even straight up next season, because he's probably got one good season left in him. I doubt we're going to get much more out of the aging midfielder here. So I do think a DM is needed. And whether it be someone fantastic like an Ndidi or a Thomas Partey, we need someone like that in the midfield that can just run the show, that's strong, that has the creativity to actually find our creative midfielders around them.
Actually, quick, sorry to interrupt you, but on the DM, quick. Fred in the last Europa League game played the Matic role, and I thought he did very well there. Obviously, it's against a low league team. He hasn't played it before. But would you give Fred more chances? This guy was in our talks for player of the season before Bruno and everyone else came. Would you give Fred maybe a chance instead of buying a TM? Obviously, United would love to hear that. I don't want that. I think we should buy a TM. But I think Fred is better suited for that role than McTominay. Do you think Fred should be, or are you not convinced? Do you think we should still buy straight out TM?
I do think Fred would be the natural replacement if we're not going to go buy. Because Fred has a lot of potential in that role, strange enough to say about a 27-year-old, I believe. He has a lot of potential. He has a lot of potential to be a really good DM. When he's consistent, he's really consistent. He was in the running for player of the season for us. And as soon as he stopped getting game time, he just kind of fell out of it. As soon as Matic came back into the first 11, he fell off completely. So it's hard to say whether Fred would be a Manchester United player for the foreseeable future as well. But he is definitely the best defensive midfielder that we have at the club besides Matic. So DM should be on top of this though.
Scary to say that Fred is our best, probably centre defensive midfielder without Matic. It's quite scary because Fred defensively, I think that's where he needs to work on. I think everything else Fred is great at. But defensively, defensively, if you want to be a CDM, you'll have to work on that and learn from Matic and stuff. What I will say is, if we had to buy a DM, 100% agree with you. Ndidi, Thomas Partey, I think Arsenal should get him because I think they've been the most linked. I would love Thomas Partey.
A different signing. What if we take Guendouzi from Arsenal? How would you feel about that? Because he's.
I liked him when he was at Arsenal, but again, I wouldn't take him as my first choice. Like if it was him over, if it was him over no one, I would probably take him. But ideally, I wouldn't take Guendouzi. But what I would say is, to throw a curveball in. I forgot his name, but it's gonna sound stupid because I only realized he was a DM in FIFA. But I was thinking, the Portuguese DM. What was his name?
Danilo Pereira.
Yeah. He looked good. And and I told you after that FIFA day, I'm gonna go research him and like see what his stats are in real life. And he seems he's young. He plays in the Portuguese main man as a DM there now. So he'll be linked with Bruno. Bruno would probably know some things about him. United, I was just thinking, it could make sense, United, they like the Portuguese signings. Bruno is at the club. Maybe Bruno, I don't know if United are smart enough, but you ask Bruno like, hey, what do you think of, your mate here from the international team? He plays DM. He looks really solid. He's still very young. And if we're not going to get Ndidi because he's overpriced, Partey probably will go somewhere else. He could be a replacement. He could be a target. Yeah. It could be some amazing scouting. And if United, you someone listening to this, go check him out. Maybe it interests you. Maybe pick him up for I don't know how much he's worth. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, just keep an eye on him. Go check him out. Obviously, he's amazing in FIFA, by the way. Go play with him. But I would say as a creative midfield, I was telling you last night, and there could be some, backup to what I'm about to say. But Yannick Carrasco, Atletico Madrid midfielder. Last night I told you about him. And 3 years ago, we were linked with Carrasco. And obviously, he went for China for money, some would argue. But then he came back to Atletico. And it doesn't look like he's dropped off. He's still 26 years old. So it's not a bad age. And I don't know what his availability is like, because I'm sure Simeone and Atletico love him. That's why he came back. And it'll be probably a hard guy to get. But we were linked with him in the past. So I think that, United have obviously scouted him. Maybe there could be something in it. Worst case, that's another target that that United could get. And what I would say about Carrasco, good on set pieces, very good at in creating things, making something happen. He's got a shot, he can pass the ball, set piece is good. So I think, again, if he had to come to United and United had to go out for him, I would love him, because I do like Yannick Carrasco a lot. I always did, even 3 years ago, I liked him.
For sure. I think I can agree with that. I think Yannick Carrasco would be a nice signing. But I think he'd cost a lot as well, and he mainly prefers that left flank, which is very much occupied by our
He looks like a lot of a left midfielder.
Yeah. So he's not going to replace Rashford, sadly. So unless he is a good right mid, or right wing, I don't think he's going to fit nicely in the United squad. There's too many left wingers at this point.
I mean, that could be true. That's one thing. But speaking of at dilemma at United, centre back. We know it's a problem. Some would say it's not a problem because Maguire and Lindelof on paper, they're good. They're good. They look good. Yeah, they're good defenders. But it's not. They can be better. Is what you're trying to say. It can be better. And for me, if you're gonna get a defender, obviously we linked with like Koulibaly, and everyone knows what the story with Koulibaly is. But there's only. I think you were about to say the same name here, but there's only one in my mind. There's only one in your mind, and I think it's safe to say it's none other than Upamecano.
Yeah, agreed.
We seen him last night. He's got speed. He completely wrecked Diego Costa. Completely wrecked him. Completely wrecked Llorente. The defense yesterday for Leipzig was Upamecano, and he's been doing that the whole season. Now, obviously, as a centre back, he's perfect. He's young, he's fast, he's strong, he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he's bossing everyone. And he looks like he's going to be a proper superstar. And he could be in the French team as well. He's very young, but what I will say is, United they're not going to get in this window. Obviously, he signed his contract. He signed the new contract, but I don't think that's entirely a bad thing. I know people do want it sorted out, but I think with where United are right now, it looks like one signing. We're getting one signing, even if we're lucky. If we're lucky, we're getting one signing. We pay the money, we get one signing. And we know that boat is a bit shaky at the moment. It's shaking a lot. We're almost at the bottom of the ocean. But if you wait the season, you give it to Maguire and Lindelof again. You're like, what, play out the season.
Yeah,
let's see what happens. Yeah.
They're not in their prime yet. They still got room to grow. They've still got.
But what I would be worried about is. What I would be worried about Upamecano though is could it be that price tag that eventually we wouldn't have to pay with him. Because if he carries on the way he's playing. If Maguire was 80, oof. I don't know what Upamecano.
Great sub for Maguire.
I would do. And actually, that brings on the problem. That brings on to a point. I would say obviously. Okay, look, I would love to get a centre back this window, but again, so we're probably going to stick with Lindelof and Maguire throughout the season. But what I will say is, if I was Oli, I would tell Maguire and Lindelof, listen, this is both your season to shine. I'm looking for a centre back in the future, a first team centre back. One of you guys is going to get dropped. Now everyone's going to say, no, Maguire never gets dropped. He plays every single game. But I think fans, and personally for me, at the moment, if you have to ask me, drop one of our centre backs, I'm dropping Maguire. I'm not dropping Lindelof.
Yeah.
I think Lindelof for me has been better. I think obviously Maguire is, his first season coming. He's a mad defender. He hasn't missed a single game. He plays every single football game for Manchester United.
He
Whether he has a broken leg or anything. Yeah, he plays everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Lindelof is better. I think Lindelof does all the simple things right, and when he's needed. The only thing I criticize Lindelof a lot about is his aerial ability. I think that's his very big weakness. But if you put someone like Upamecano in it, you put Upamecano with Maguire also. Maguire becomes better. So at the moment, I'm dropping Maguire. I don't think that will happen though. He's the captain of Manchester United, so I don't see that happening. So it'll probably be a Lindelof replacement, and I think that Upamecano is the perfect one. But realistically, if you're talking about this window, who's the centre back to get this window?
Eric Bailly.
No.
He's gonna come in. He's gonna take someone's spot. Didn't Oli come out and say that he had mad potential?
Oli came out saying that
there's a good chance
to be a world-class centre back. But then again, Oli said Alexis Sanchez is going to come and prove us all wrong, and then we see what happened with that.
That's true.
Oli does have a knack of backing his players, but then saying, "Get out, get out of my team."
Yeah, get out.
Yeah, I mean that Gabriel guy looks good. I don't know much about him. I'll be honest with you. I don't know much about him. Yeah, he looked like we were linked with him, but supposedly there's a report saying that they've got a gentleman agreement with Napoli, so that if Koulibaly does leave, he's going there. So Gabriel will go to Napoli. So this could be something in that. But I think realistically, Gabriel would probably be that. But like I said, I think you and I are in the same boat. Upamecano or no one. Upamecano or no one.
And just watching a full 90 minutes is ridiculous. He is going to be something fantastic in the future.
Yeah. So we'll end off the transfer targets by giving who our dream signing for each position of the field. Right. For forward, Sancho probably. Sancho. And then midfield, Jack Grealish for me.
I think I can agree with Grealish. If we didn't have a budget, I would take Grealish for sure. But that price tag is something so hard realistically to get over. I'm sorry.
At 65 for me. I'd pay 65.
Yeah,
well, actually, I'll go to Aston Villa now. I'll be like, here's your 80 bags. Thank you. Give me
80.
Give me up. Yeah, give me up.
If he was cheaper, I definitely see him as a realistic target, but that price tag is just way, way too much. It's just so unfortunate, though, because he is a class player that would fit in nicely with the United team, I think. Yeah. And also the English links, it's right there. We'll play games.
I think they say he could force the move as well. He could force the move. So he's coming back from holidays. Supposedly he's going to talk with all the chief executives saying, listen, I kept you guys up. I promoted you guys. Where's my move? I love this club and everything.
I want to move on.
I understand that. But where's my move? I can't be here for my career. You guys can't probably be thinking, being so selfish, keeping me here when I could, you guys should be happy for me going to a big club, trying to win things. Because let's be honest, Villa, it's not like FIFA. You can't just pull them up to win titles, to win this. It's not going to happen. So Grealish could do something like that. But defense, Upamecano, I think both of us have definitely said that. Goalkeeper situation, Oblak supposedly wants to talk about his future after they got knocked out yesterday. But he's going to talk about his future. The only way I'm seeing it, you trade straight for Oblak.
Only way I see that deal happening. Well,
maybe we will have to even pay extra. There goes back to Atletico. There could be something in it a little bit. You've been clutching at straws. His girlfriend/wife doesn't like England anyway. She's always said England looks like the back of a fridge. I'd rather go back to Spain, nice sunny Spain. So it could be something. With the form lately, there could be something in it. Listen, if Oblak wants to move, I'll tell you right now. You're a legend of the club, but go back. I want Oblak. If I was United, I'd be like, listen, go try. You try your best to get Oblak, right? And I think that's really that ties up all the transfer targets, which will lead me to the next point. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah,
it's been a roller coaster of emotions. When he got the job, that 3 months, woof, I was singing Ole is
super hard.
Give him the job. Give him the job. There's no one better for the job. We all gets the job. bottle top 4. Then it goes, oof, then it starts shaking. Then the scissors starts shaking, it goes a little bit up. And you think, okay. And then it goes back down. And then it's going down, it's down. Nearly get top to the half of the table. And then they're like, oh my God, now what happens? And then Burnley game, Newcastle game, we're singing. Well, I was definitely saying, Ollie out, get him out. You know, he's had his time, but get him out, you know.
Yeah.
With the players that he's got now, he can't just be a passionate. You're going to need some tactics with those type of players. Then he got very lucky. COVID happened, we got Bruno. Got very lucky, then, you know, back up again. Ollie was back up again. So, yeah, it's been a very roller coaster. Yeah, and then, now it's a bit like it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss at the moment. You look like we're limping over wins. But, you know, Ollie's had a roller coaster promotion. Obviously, he's a club legend. He says he's a servant of the club. He says winning a trophy as a manager of the club is bigger than the 99 treble for him. Because he feels like listen, Ollie as a manager for United is a fairy tale. It's a dream. We all want it to work out.
Definitely.
But the question is, Clay, like, what do you think of Ollie's season as a whole? And at the end of the day, are you Ollie in? Are you Ollie in, and or are you Ollie out, and why?
Well, I think the season is perfectly summed up as a roller coaster ride. Like, I don't think there's anything else you could describe it as. It was a mess through and through. We had a lot of good times, and a lot of bad times too. Sitting in the bottom half of the table. I think we were in relegation for a few games, weren't we? We were like 17th or something. Yeah, we were like right at the bottom. It was scary back then. But I do think he has had a lot of luck to help him through. I think he is a good manager. I think he knows how to rile people up, and I think he knows how to get them going for the games, try to keep their head in it. I don't think he has that many good tactics.
Yeah,
I think that's very tactically he's very inept. And I think that's where the PE teacher thing holds true. Tactically, I think we can get outclassed by a lot of people. And it's been shown time in, time out. Sometimes our players just outperform that, though. So when you have the class, the managerial experience doesn't show that much as well. Because when Pogba's on form, he's going to be making 40-yard passes straight to Greenwood. He's going to tap it in. Yeah. That's not going to be a tactic that they've practiced time in, time out. It's just world-class players performing like world-class players.
Yeah.
So I do think we need a lot of work on our coaching staff. I don't know if Ali deserves the sack yet, but I do think he's very much teetering on the edge here at this point. I do think we need a better season than last season, and he's somehow going to have top third for him to stay afloat here, or at least be more consistent and get a same sort of finish. I think that's a fair expectation from him, because our coaching staff doesn't look that good, and it's scary that we're going to the Champions League with a squad with no depth and managers that lack complete experience. They have zero experience managing Champions League clubs. They're all basically past players at this point, and Mike Phelan, who's just doing what he does.
Yeah.
So I do think we could upgrade our manager for sure. I don't think that should be an issue, but I know the players love him. The players would do anything for him.
To this club as well to bring a new manager.
Yeah. It would do a lot of harm to the club than good. So I think Ali should get another season. And if he really, really shows it again, he deserves to go out, I think. If he shows how bad he can be and not being able to actually bring out the full potential of players, I think it's really going to hurt the club.
Yeah, well, at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Ollie he's achieved what I wanted. He got top. We got third out of top. I would have taken fourth.
Somehow, yes.
Yeah, so you got third. Whether or not it was lucky, you can only play what's in front of you. Ollie got third. The club, the way the club is, the players, I've never seen them so happy for a long, long time. Yeah. So Ollie's doing great like that. I think Ollie at the moment deserves his job. He definitely deserves it to go for another season. He's not going to get sacked anytime soon. Not a chance he's going to get sacked. It's up to the board now. And once again, those shitty Glazer owners and Ed dog shit to back him and give Ollie the best resources to get the best results he can. And I think if all of that happens, then Ollie's got really no excuse. But if you don't get back, you go with this current squad with next season, you should still get fourth. You should,
Yeah.
but I want fourth. I think next season. Well, I'll come back to that point. But at the moment, to summarize it, I'm only in for now.
Yeah.
But the Pochette come knocking on my door tomorrow, as an owner, I would take it. I would be like,
Yeah.
You are in, my boy. Because as an owner, my structure would be different. I would have director of football. We all know how to run the club. And I think I was just looking at yesterday's Champions League game. It was such a it was a perfect example. You look at Nagelsmann, 33 years old. On paper, our squad, man for man, our squad should be better. Up in Mancano maybe and a few other players. But it just shows what a proper manager can do, and proper coaches and a proper structure.
Such nice football.
And he plays nice football. That's on top of it. He plays nice football as well. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what, I want that. I want that. As much as we love Oli, but look at what a job he did. He's in the semi-final of a Champions League. Not the best place.
With a club that's been existent for 11 years.
Exactly. And he's 32 years old. He's younger than Ronaldo and Messi by like a few months. But he's a manager, and it just shows what a proper manager can do for you. Yeah. So, again, I'm not entirely convinced yet. I do think if Oli does slip up, I'll be ruthless and get him out. Yeah. I honestly would. So, but Oli's got a big season ahead, and that's what I want to talk about next. Our expectation for next season, right? League.
Yeah.
For me, even if we had to get Sancho and Grealish, right? Best case scenario, Sancho and Grealish. Best case scenario. Worst case, we stuck with the squad. So we'll try to think about it both ways. But for me, the goal next season should be.
I think the goal changes either way.
Top 4 easily, though. Yeah. That's what I want. I want top 4 easy. It needs to be done. It needs to be like, obviously, if Chelsea keeps on winning all their games and like they're right with us, there are exceptions. But for us, I think for me, the league goal should be third would be nice, or top 4 should be done easily. What do you think
top
should be the league goal?
I fully agree. Top 4, regardless.
You take regardless
what happens with top 4. Yep, just top 4.
You'll take even a scrape. You'll take this like this.
We'll take a goal difference tied with Arsenal in 5th.
You see that for me wouldn't be good enough. I would sack Oli if that had to happen.
Yeah, I definitely think that we do need a good performance, but I think regardless, our goal is Champions League football. If we don't retain that, I think we're in trouble.
Well, obviously, then we're in big trouble. But I think, for me, top 4 easy. Yeah. And then FA Cup, really? Is there a realistic goal? Maybe to try to win it. Depends on, obviously, it's too early now, but
we need to win it. We need to secure European football worst case scenario. Literally worst case
I would like to win it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to win the FA Cup. Obviously, who wouldn't want to win in every single
other than that, I think we would rather want the UCL or the league title.
That's what the next one point. What do you think our goal should be in the Champions League? First season back.
That's a hard one, yeah.
You got Martial, you got Rashi, you got Greenwood.
Depends where we finish with the Europa now. Because if we win it all, I see no reason why our goal shouldn't be like semis.
Really? Semis?
I think if we win Europa, I don't see any excuse why we don't get semis. If we don't, I think making it quarters to round of 16 I think that's good. I think that'll be good if we don't win it. Because I think our morale will be very high if we do win it. I think we'll be feeling ourselves a bit. And I think it'll be exactly what we need going into the next season. So I do believe if we somehow manage to win Europa now, we should be able to make it very far in the Champions League again.
I feel the same because like when I was I keep telling like my dad and anyone who like speaks to me, and I watch Champions League and stuff. I look at like Atletico. I looked at how who else played, PSG played, and I was just thinking, if they had to face a United on their day, with Tony on the day, Pogba on the day, they will get completely destroyed. Because United's team on their day, they are dumb, but they will wreck you. They will wreck you inside out. But then again, you ask me, then my dad's like, so you guys gonna win Europa? I'm like, listen, I'm gonna say yes because I'm a United fan. Yeah. But it depends what United turns up on that day. If that United doesn't turn up on that Sunday, it's late for us. It's gonna be late for us. And speaking of Sunday, just to go brief on it, what do you think is gonna happen on Sunday?
Oh, didn't Sevilla's not a pushover against them? Yeah, they're definitely not a pushover. Didn't they beat us 1-0 in our last Europa League meeting?
They're known.
The squad was different.
Teams. Yeah. Our squad was horrible. We had Fellaini,
I think,
Pogba was on the
yeah.
bench. Martial wasn't even playing. It was horrible. It was just horrible.
Yeah. So I think if Ole can get the best out of players, I see no reason why we don't go through. But Sevilla won't be a pushover at all.
They need to be
simple as that.
They have to be disciplined. They can't be complacent.
Yeah. We can't play Eric Bailly. We will get charred.
Yeah.
He'll get a red early in the game and we'll be done. You know, we need to be disciplined. We did fully be disciplined. We need to be calm, collected. We probably need to play a more possession game, in all honesty. We probably need to slow it down, probably play at our own pace, and then just hit long balls through the breaks, through the wingers.
It's going to be tough because Sevilla likes playing like that. Sevilla likes holding the ball. So I think if Oli, I don't know, you see, this is why sometimes like I love Oli, but I'm going to question him like now because obviously that's all you have to experience and knowledge on foreign teams. Yeah, that's that's all you know that Sevilla. Listen, they love controlling the ball. Does he have a tactic to somehow take position away from them if he wants to play possession, or is Oli going to just do the thing where park the bus, hit them on the break, Tony Martial, brilliance, and then hopefully let's scrape our way through. So I think it's going to be something along those lines where we do scrape something.
Play a 5 back.
Okay, I have faith in Oli not playing a 5 back. I really hope he doesn't play a 5 back. But we'll probably speak about that on the preview.
You guys will get to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get to it on the preview. But obviously, I don't know if you will be in the preview. Maybe you will actually. We might have some difficulties. You might have some free time. So yeah, but what would be your prediction for Sunday?
Oh, it's so tough to call with the United team. That's the only issue. It's so tough. But Wolves put up so little of a fight, and I feel like Sevilla didn't do that well either during that game. So I think if we play that Sevilla again, we have a good chance. I think if we somewhat turn up, we should be fine. Even if it's just 4.
I always say 3 of our 5 in front need to turn up. 3 out of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Pogba, and Bruno. 3 of them have to turn up. Because last time it was only 2 of them. And then Martial arrived late at the party. And we turned up. And then that's why we won. So as soon as I'm telling you, if 3 of those guys can do it, we'll do it.
We should be fine.
We'll do it. We should be fine.
Yeah.
But whether or not they will,
need Bruno to turn on just a bit and Rashi to actually just focus.
To the simple constraint.
Losing that right now.
Don't make me swear you on Sunday. Yeah. Please, you don't have that game that you had.
Yeah.
The last one.
Rashi has such a high skill ceiling. It sucks to see him playing badly.
That's what I said. I think I told you last time on the show. I see more in Rashford than I think Rashford sees in himself or something.
Yeah. I think a lot of people see a lot in Rashford. He's 21.
Yeah, he's young. He's still young.
He's so young. And he's doing
Our team is young. Our team is young.
Yeah, we have the youngest squad in the Prem, average age. It's ridiculous. We have a super young squad. They have a lot of high potential. There's no reason why those guys can't turn up on a day. Because if we're relying on an 18-year-old Mason Greenwood to go and score a wonder goal, dribbling between 3 defenders, hitting it between both feet, doing the keeper completely, it just shows that everyone else is just out of it, and it's hard. It's really hard.
That's the thing that I will say. I do criticize Oli still on that. I think Oli still relies on a bit of individual brilliance to see us
fully.
Yeah, but you can't
rely on that. You really can't.
You can't. And just to end off the show, a statement from Clay and I. I'll speak on Clay's behalf. Manchester United, if you are listening, you go get Sancho. You go get Jack Grealish. Don't disappoint United fans all around the world. Because obviously, I've been watching United my whole life. I'm mature enough. If we don't get Sancho, obviously I'm going to be fuming on the day. But is it the end of the world? No, United will continue to still exist. It's not like United are just going to disappear out of nowhere. It will be horrible because then it leaves us more questions. Where do we go in the future? Because we're not serious. So United, get Sancho over the line. Just pay the money. Just pay the money, you get him. It's easy as that. Pay the money, you get him.
Make that signing, guys. Come on.
Yeah, Grealish.
That'll appease so many people.
Sell Lingard. Sell Andreas Pereira. Sell whoever else you can. Get Jack Grealish. And to all the Red Devil Africa fans out there watching, I appreciate you guys for sticking through to the end. And if you are new, please be sure to subscribe and leave a like and comment below what you think of Well, any thoughts you had on today, any discussion points, and we will definitely reply to all of them. So from Clayton and I, it's been a good show, and we'll check you in the next one.